just morning. So before we dive into today's program, I'd like to start with something simple and powerful. So during our sessions these days and this week, we have talked a lot about innovation, leadership, collaboration, but there is one thing that often gets forgotten in our work, and that's celebration. So taking a moment to notice what we have done well, what has worked, or simply what made us smile this week. And this is not just nice, it's actually neuroscience, because our brains are like Velcro for the negative. It's like we hear it and we take it in, and it's Teflon for the positives. It's like, okay, yeah, going for the next. So we are literally wired to spot what is wrong. It's a survival instinct. But studies from different researchers like Hansen and Fredrickson show that when we consciously focus on small wins, gratitude or joy, we build resilience, motivation, and creativity. In other words, celebration changes the brain. It strengthens the neural pathways for optimism, focus, and courage. And actually, in my own small team back home, we end every Friday afternoon with a short checkout, usually online. We simply share what we want to celebrate from the week, something we have done, learned, or just appreciated. And in the beginning, one of my colleagues felt that this was kind of awkward because, I mean, the energy and so, but after a few weeks, something interesting happened. He came to one checkout and said, "You know what's funny? I've started thinking already on Tuesday about what I might share on Friday." So that's the beauty of it. When we start paying attention to what works, to what we are proud of, we literally train our minds to see more of it. And for me, that is also a big part of sustainability, of working sustainability, because it's not just about time and money, it's a lot about energy. Now, let me just give a short overview of today's program. This is our final day together, and the focus is on collaboration, how we move from ideas to action. And this morning we will start to explore collaborate to innovate with different projects, group work that show how partnership and shared learning can actually transform what we do. And you will hear from Nadia, Erika, Sara, and myself, and maybe one more guest. Yeah. So, and then lunch at the same great place as yesterday. And celebration, yeah, I love it. And then Catherine will dive into inclusion together with Hester and Barbara. And Simon from yesterday. Thank you. Yes, thank you. So this afternoon we will have 3 perspectives and one shared purpose to make cinema a place where everyone belongs. And then we will wrap up. So through it all, I invite you to stay curious, generous, and just a little playful. Because innovation rarely comes from pressure. It comes from energy, attention, and joy. So let's carry that spirit of celebration into this day and invite Nadia.
Merci. Okay, hello everyone. I hope you had a nice night last evening. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. I'm just going to quickly introduce you to Collaborate to Innovate, for those who don't know it. So Collaborate to Innovate was created in 2021 with the support of Creative Europe Media, and the aim is to raise the awareness about the diversity of European cinema, to develop tools to support inclusive and sustainable audience growth, and to improve the access and enhance the cinema experience for European film. And just because there's a kind of a misperception on what we mean with innovation. So innovation doesn't have to be groundbreaking or high-tech. It's rather about introducing something new and useful, which could be a product, a service, or a strategy that solves real problems in a simple and practical way. And even a small improvement can be innovative. And I guess you have heard several presentations on the guidelines, so I won't bore you with them. But just to to summarize the conditions on how to apply. So you must appoint a coordinator, an exhibitor who is member of Europa Cinemas, and who has achieved European results that qualified for support in 2023 or 2024. And you must meet the minimum number of participating cinemas, which vary by project and country category, which we'll see in the guidelines as well. And just a couple of tips for your applications, which are really a no-brainer, to start reading the guidelines early and thoroughly, and of course always ask for help. To design your project as a solution to an existing problem, and to review the past projects for inspiration and adaptation to your local context. And we further suggest to join the new series of workshops we just launched on Zoom. We will have a bi-weekly workshop with former project coordinators, and where they share their experiences and where you can raise questions. And we will help you set up a solid and sustainable application. The next session will be on November 18th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Oh yeah, and the workshops will also be the opportunity to exchange ideas with other exhibitors and to find potential partner cinemas for your project. And of course, very important for your application, we will discuss this with Erika and Jens and Sara, is to set clear and realistic KPIs and a clear budget, and we will have a look at this in the workshop. The KPIs are the key performance indicators, just so you know. It's to measure the success of your project. And just to resume, so the next call is going to open in December 2025 and close in February 2026. The guidelines will probably stay as they are, but we're going to communicate as soon as possible on this. And yeah, as I said, the workshop is going to be on November 18th from 11 a.m. to 12:30. And whenever you need support or help or need to discuss your project, your KPIs, your budget, feel free to reach out whenever. So that's it from my part. And now we will hear Erika.
Hi again. This is our project, a very new project. We started in May this year, Film Therapy Film Club project, and I will approach this CTR project very practically. Like I will tell you all the details which we were struggling or which were easy for us. This is an international project, so not a national project. We are doing it with Hungary, Tisza Mozi from Szolnok, and from Bucharest, Elvira Popescu Cinema. Our idea came, actually mine struggles were that we didn't have any young audience program. And as I started 1.5 years ago in these two cinemas to work, I wanted to do something with young audiences. So I talked with Eva from Hungary, and we figured out that we could do this film therapy, film session, film club event project, and we started to work on it. And it was the same moment when we started to look for partners, because we were thinking that maybe we should. So we were not sure what should be our first step. So we started with everything, and it was good that we had this idea. We checked it with Nadia, and we find out after few weeks that the project exists. Like, our idea was not original, so it was a big surprise for us, and we thought that maybe we should cancel this project. Then we found out that maybe it is very good because the first project can be sustainable. So we talked again with Eva from Hungary, and we found out that it is quite a good idea. So we talked with the original project leader, and had some other ideas. So the original project was this film, Recipes for Mental Health. It is about film screenings with film therapists, and after film screenings they made some workshops, made, I think, animation, shorter animation films, and they made a film recipe book, a recipe book with ideas which could help to keep their mental health. It was after COVID, so it was a bit related to COVID, and then we realized that we could do this project in another way. So our ideas were to have 12 screenings for young audiences with a therapist, and 6 screenings for adults with the same therapist, but the topics could be the same. So this is good to bring together the young people and the adults to discuss mental health and social issues and environmental things, which are, I think, that the young audiences are struggling a lot, and it connects the generations, because if we can talk about the problems with the youngsters, then we can talk with the parents about the same topics, and maybe they could understand better their children or just the surroundings. And then a talk with the therapist to go through these topics which were in the films. So, yes, and like we were also thinking about innovation, so we have found out that these human rights topics and these mental health topics could connect our two festivals, film festivals, the Hungarian Alexander Trauner Film Festival and our This Human World Film Festival, and we also connected this with young audiences. So we made a concourse for youngsters, and we have chosen 3 persons from the candidates who became our young jury members. And our young jury members watched films like a pre-selection. So we have sent to Hungarian festival 5 films, and we have traveled there like a few weeks ago. And our youngsters, the young jury members, watched the films, had their conversations about films with other jury members from Hungary and Romania. And of course, they were all European films. So these 2 bigger parts are our Film Therapy Film Club project. And so we figured out this. Then our big problem was how to find another partner or some partners, because somehow in December everybody is very busy. So yes, so we were writing the application and trying to find partners. But I can tell you that with this, Europa Cinemas and Nadia can help you, because of course everybody talks to her, so she knows who is searching for a project, or she knows who is searching for a partner. And there is also a group on Facebook where you can put your ideas, and you can have also partners there. So we have found out that our project structure can be almost the same. Then what is very, very important to make a proper budgeting. Then the next step is defining the KPIs, and finding partners is all through these steps. You have to make them, from the first moment you have to search for the partners. So the budget planning, how we did. I mean, I'm not an expert. I can just share how we did the budget. So first we made all the steps of the project. Because you have to plan in forward. So it is not possible to plan your budget if you don't know all the steps of your film club or whatever you have. So you have to make it very clear. Then you have to go through all your actions, and to think about your external and internal experts. What is hard to find a project manager, because it has to be external. So if you are doing a Collaborate to Innovate project, you have to be aware of it. Then also that the cinema must have 30% their own money of the project. So these are the 2 very basic rules. And then you have to identify all the external partners who have to work with it, and maybe even you have to talk with them to know what their price is. Yeah.
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 I'm not sure I understood why the project manager should be external and how does it work?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think Nadia is.
We can discuss this later when we have time for the Q&A if you want. But you can have an internal project manager. It's just that for most cinemas, you're very, very busy and you only have 1 year to implement a Collaborate Innovate project. And we suggest to have someone external as it makes it easier, as you can only have 30% of your budget of the staff costs included in the project. We now go very much into the details of the guidelines, but this is why we suggest to make things easier to have an external project manager. We can have a look at the guidelines during the workshops if you want. That is not a problem.
Thanks. So we were struggling with it because, of course, with writing the application, it for us would be better to have this person as a project coordinator, but the rules are not like that, so we have to deal with it.
So you basically need to hire a project manager and include the cost of it in the budget?
You can do that, yeah. If you, you can also do it yourself, but most of you are very busy just running your cinema. So it makes sense to hire someone from the outside, because in the staff costs for Collaborate to Innovate, we do not reimburse the salary of the programmer, neither of the director. So it must be someone else from your team. And yeah, as I said, as they have something else to do, it makes sense to hire someone from the outside and to think about this very early on, so you can plan it accordingly. Should we have questions after?
It's okay, it's okay.
I just wanted to say I'm the external person on the Collaborate to Innovate at Cultural Center Cernika. And this happened I was collaborating with them, doing film talks and Q&As, and they invited me to have this whole program and also programming. So it's easy to, if you have someone as an external who is working for you, knows the cinema, knows what you want to do, to connect with this person. Yeah, you want the mic?
Yes,
I'm
so
sorry.
let's talk after
Yeah.
the presentations. We will be here, so, and we will have this workshop, so we can clarify everything about the budget and and the project coordinator. So, what is our project and our KPIs? You can see that they are very, very, very simple, because we were struggling with the KPIs also. We wanted at first to have Facebook followers, I don't know, 1,000, and then we realized, what if we can't do? Because the KPIs are the must-have points. So we decided that we will have just very simple KPIs, what we can do. So we have 12 topics in 3 countries, which will be, or which are, on this therapeutic screenings. Then we have 46 screenings and therapy sessions. So as you can see, these are very, very basic KPIs. Then we will do 100 database which contains 100 European films, which we can use to some topic to talk about with the youngsters. Then we will do 21 educational materials, which will help the cinemas to make these sessions by their own. So we will put them on our website, so you will be able to download them. Then we have the young jury who are traveling with their companies, and it is 15%. And 2 times, because we went to Hungary, and Hungary and Romania will come to our film festival. And we will have 100 creative outputs, like photos from graffitis. Topic is always human rights or some health issues. There will be podcasts, there will be short videos which are about European films, and all of them are made by youth persons. So these are our KPIs. I think that it is really very clear, and all of us can think about these simple KPIs. And how to find partners, I mean, our network. So this is it. Sara, can you come?
In Collaborate to Innovate, we do the project Cinema Without Barriers. And we mostly do cinema for deaf and sorry, for deaf and blind. So I kind of make this exercise so you can have a feeling how it is for like blind people. We cannot do it for the deaf, but just to have a feeling of how it is for them to come into the cinema, and also how it is to watch the movies. And I want to know if some of you has the experience of doing the screening for deaf or for blind. Is anyone doing? Okay, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, super. So in the project, we are 3 cinemas, small cinemas from Slovenia, and the idea was that we bring the accessible screenings into little cinemas, and we are Cultural Center Cernika, Kino, Union, and Linhartova dvorana Radovljica. And it's the cinemas that are not in big cities, but are in the small cities, because Slovenia has traffic problems, and you don't have really good trains or buses or stuff. So people don't really get the opportunity to go somewhere to see the movie. You have to have the car, and for the blind and the deaf, this is a harder experience. So in the program, we did training and workshop for the cinema staff, so how to deal with blind people, how to deal with deaf people. We equipped cinemas with technology, so with audio description, subtitles, sign language interpretations. We said we will do 30 screenings of European film and 30 screenings of Slovenian film. So for each of this movie, all the cinemas will have subtitling, Slovenian sign language, and descriptive audio description. And we will have 30 post-screening discussion, or with filmmakers or with experts who are talking of the topic that the film is shown. In March 26, we will have the first international conference in Slovenia about inclusive cinema, because none of the cinema in Slovenia had like this loop and stuff. They were not even equipped for doing projects like this. And we will do a handbook for cinemas how to create accessible screenings. So this has already been done, and now we are editing and preparing it to go to other cinemas. Yeah, and one thing that I forget, Slovenia has a database of films that is like common for all the cinemas. So the films that are not screened anymore, because there are so many movies and so little cinemas, go to this database, and it's used for like the whole cinema, the whole cinemas in Slovenia. And we decided to do this database with accessible versions, so that people who can watch this film also can have like sign language, subscriptive subtitles. Yeah. So what we said, these are like the numbers that we did the research before we started this project, and only 6 people who are deaf or blind watch movies in Slovenia. So this is in connection with deaf and blind organizations. So this is the number the first number you can see is what we did from the research, what we realized, what are the numbers. So we had no international conference, we have no like members of blind and deaf audience. And now we are collaborating with 9 organizations who work with the deaf and blind. And together with them, we are preparing all the materials, and we also include the deaf and the blind in the talks, in the Q&As. We had now the movie that is deaf. I don't know if you saw it. It's about a deaf mother who is giving birth to a child, and then she doesn't know how to connect with the child because, she cannot talk, so she tries to teach him the sign language. The issues that we are dealing with, I forgot one. So all the places are really remote, and we have poor public transport. So building a local community of regular visitors is hard. Now we have, let's say, 10 that are always coming, and there are a few others that come, depends on the movie and on the talk, but it's like hard to keep them for every single screening. We have technical issues at Kino and Celia because the projector is not compatible with the, you have to have this channel on a projector for the hearing with audio description. And we have now troubles. We don't know yet how we will resolve this because they would have to buy a new projector. So yeah, we are now searching for an expert who will come to help us with this. And one other thing is the distribution in Slovenia of films, it's really little. And not all distributors allow us to put things on the movie. So when you have language, sign language, you put it on the film, like in the right corner. And not everyone allows this because they say it's not correct to the people who do the movies. So we only have 2 distribution houses who allow this, and we can choose from really a small amount of movies to present. Yeah, I think I already said that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and maybe one thing that I didn't say, it's really important, are the materials, how you present the materials to the deaf and the blind. So if you send an email to these groups, it has to be in the Word because they have like this translator who is putting in words. So you have to adapt everything, the communications, the materials you prepared, and all the stuff is different. It's not just an email you send and that's it. Thank you.
Hello again. So our project within Collaborate to Innovate was called data sharing, a new way of building audiences for small and medium-sized Arthouse cinemas. And this was a couple of years ago, as you can see. It was data analysis for cinema and distributors from VC ticketing system, which we have 125 cinemas, and also the CRM system Salesforce and their marketing cloud, and also a loyalty scheme integration. So this project gave us a chance to explore how data could strengthen their daily work, not just for marketing, but for decision making and collaborating. So the core idea was to build a shared structure connecting data from VC ticketing system to Salesforce CRM and also Tableau dashboards. And our goal was kind of simple, to make data useful and accessible for everyone, not just the large chains or distributors. So the challenge was that independent cinemas in Sweden totally lacked access to comparable audience data. There is nothing, except your own, of course. So exhibitors and distributors kind of worked in silos. Well, they still do, and each with their own lack or their own data, number and tools. So our guiding question became, how can smaller cinemas actually use data to grow audiences instead of being limited to it? KPI, this was 2023. So when we first applied, I have to admit, we didn't really know what the KPI stand for and what it was. And I was really impressed by both Erika and Sara about your KPIs. And I'm sorry we did not use ChatGPT at that time. So these were our KPIs in the application, and let's just say it was not the most serious and or well thought through ones. So I actually asked now before this presentation, ChatGPT, if I had asked you back in 2023, then as a KPI expert, which KPIs would you have chosen for this project? And how would you formulate it and followed them up? The answer was yes, a very relevant question. ChatGPT have seen our KPIs. So this what we could have done and what we learned. Not to please funders. I never told them this. So we thought we would just like connecting systems, but we learned that KPIs are about measuring change and could be very helpful for us. So KPIs, the learning is, shouldn't be something you just write for an application to please the funders. They should be a mirror, a way for your team to see its own progress and impact. So our main challenges. Of course, it wasn't easy. We had a really tight 12-month timeline. The decision comes in June, then it's summer semester. And we had several complex system integrations. We lost data, we lost the connections, and we had challenges, for example, to integrate the POS data, the point of sales data. And it also is a little bit of a paradox. In the application, we are asked to present clear goals and KPIs for an innovation project. Even though innovation by nature is also about exploring, experimenting, and sometimes not knowing exactly where it will lead, like in our project. And budget-wise, we exceeded the original budget by about 25%, mainly due to higher development and data management costs. And maybe the hardest part for us came also after the project. How could we build a sustainable business model together with the cinemas? Because I think that's really important to think not only about what we create during the project or during a project, but how we can live on and keep growing once the funding is gone. But still, the project was a real breakthrough. It gave independent cinemas access to real data for the first time in Sweden, not only their own, but also others. So they finally had something to benchmark and compare with. And those cinemas who really embraced it are now seeing clear results. And since this was a completely new service, we at Biografcentralen had no idea how much we could charge, or if any cinemas would even be willing to pay. So earlier this year, April 2025, we decided just to rip off the Band-Aid. We offered the services to about 30 cinemas, and 22 of them actually signed up. So now each cinema pays a monthly fee between 90 euros and 450 euros, depending on their size. And today we work with these exhibitors every week, delivering CRM campaigns and data insights. And soon, I hope, we will also include the POS data. We are wrestling still a little bit with that part 2 years later. So we launched in mid-August and got our first full month of data in September. And September was already a very strong month for cinemas across Sweden compared to the same month in 2024, so last year. But for the ones using our new CRM tools, it was even better. Their admissions were up 54% compared to September last year, while other cinemas, about 100 across the country that we use as a benchmark, they grew by 44%. So a 10% up. And it's encouraging data and could be a difference, of course, but we need to follow up this over a longer period. So we are working with all these 22 cinemas for a year from now. And what also the project made was it sparked a strong industry interest in Sweden, both from exhibitors, distributors, Swedish Film Institute, and data is now much more actively requested in the national context. So it shows that even a small pilot can open the door to a real long-term change. And it's great to see how this fundings from Europa Cinemas actually can truly influence the cinema industry in our country. For me, that's the biggest success, creating a data culture that feels collaborative, not competitive. So, and to close, I want to share a quote that really captures the spirit of this journey. So I've never tried that before. So I'm sure I can do it. So, and Pippi has actually been with me on quite a few stages by now. In Cannes, Vilnius, and Palma de Mallorca. Every time I talked about this project and what it stands for. So for me, Pippi is a symbol of courage, creativity, and curiosity, and of daring to do things differently, of asking why not instead of why. And I think that spirit, the Pippi spirit, is exactly what Collaborate to Innovate is about. Being brave enough to experiment, to collaborate, to fail, to celebrate, to have fun, to learn, and to build something new together. Thank you.